Well, good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Clyde Rivers here on the Golden Rule Show. If we do one thing in this world, we can change the world overnight. If everyone would just do one thing, treat others the way they want to be treated, and this world is a whole better place. Well, I'm honored to this afternoon to have Dr. Terry Warren with me.
Hey.
And Dr. Warren is probably one of the most dear men you'll ever meet in this world. And we have Alan Parent with us.
Thank you.
And the wonderful Colleen.
Thank you.
So this is going to be an exciting show because there's a brand new paradigm that's taking place in the world church. Open your eyes to what the big God is doing. God is not only going to own peace, he's going to own the business arenas of the world. And these two people here are such entrepreneurs with a heart for the golden rule. So on this show at some point, we're going to be honoring them with ambassadorships of the golden rule. And we are so picky about who we allow to have this award. So this couple has integrity, they understand honor, and they're giving back to this world. Dr. Warren, would you introduce them at another level? Because I know they are your dear friends.
Well, you know, Alan and Colleen have really a heart to help children. And when I first met them, their whole thing was about taking kids in the inner city, taking kids that were less privileged, taking kids that had never really gotten an opportunity, and doing something with them. I thought it was crazy, to be honest, but putting them on bulls, the mechanical bulls and other things like that, and for whatever reason, it had an impact on them. And they were out to change children's lives around the world. And that's really how I met them, is because they came and we met and they said, we need some help creating the awareness of what we're doing out there. And so their heart and passion was for kids.
Colleen, where did that vision come from? You just were sitting here and you made a comment about your whole life. There's a principle that you established in your life. Can you please tell me about that and how that led to horses?
Well, to horses. Basically, I come from a Christian family, and I have a sister who's a minister, and of course my mother was a very devout Christian, and I don't always go to church, the building. And so I quite often got ridiculed for that, but particularly from some of my sisters, who are very kind to each other, of course. So I would say to them, I don't have to go to church to be a Christian. I just have to follow one law. And they go, what was that? And I said, I have to follow the golden rule.
Wow.
And so long as I treat everyone how I want to be treated, then I believe that I am following God's laws. And so I've had that principle in my life, my whole life. And as we grew up, I have 3 kids of my own, and Alan has 2 kids, so together we have 5, and we have grandchildren. And I found more and more, and I don't mean to be critical, but the church has not met the needs of the children.
Right. Yeah.
And so you have to teach kids by example. And it doesn't matter what you say to kids. It's what you do that they listen to.
Wow, that's so good.
And so if you can show them how they should treat each other, and if you can teach them how to resolve conflict by resolving conflict yourself as an adult, then they will grow as they should to benefit their communities and their families. And I truly believe that that's the way we have to rejuvenate the world as a global community.
That's so good. Alan, tell me about the rodeo. What made you think about rodeo kids and having that change their world?
Well, it was a friend of mine that came to me, and he said rodeo was in trouble. And he asked me if I would create a platform to help rodeo, because that's what my past before I retired. I used to do that, and I was very good at it. And so I talked to him, and I looked at his business plan, and it needed some help. So I started digging into it, And I could see that rodeo was definitely in trouble. And there's no future for the young cowboys and cowgirls to come up and to be successful in that industry. So Colleen and I then took it upon ourselves to create a platform, a large platform.
Okay.
And we've got a retirement program with them now. We placed an educational program.
Wait. All this in the rodeo
Yes,
to help young kids.
yes.
Come on, keep on going, Alan.
Yeah, and then we put on a competition fund. So there's 3 funds. So every child or every kid or young adult or adult we work with, we give them a retirement. And we started off with $40. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that $40 gets them started in life. We then take it and put it in investments with investment groups within Canada. We've now launched it here in the United States of America. And then Colleen has a fund that our 5 other businesses support. And the profits from that fund, from the interest, she tops off those kids. So those kids, if they stick with it and they're true to themselves, they will have a retirement when they hit 18, 20, 21, 23, 60 years old. Doesn't matter. The idea is we get them started and we educate them on how to run a business within rodeo. Because if you're going to run a business anywhere, it starts in rodeo, it can go into a car sales, it can go into clothes, it can go wherever that individual wants to go, because they'll have the foundation and the education to do it. Secondly, that's where our educational program comes in. We give them that education. We teach them, and we train them, we mentor them, and show them how to be good business people, and how to be successful in life. And then thirdly, it's a competition fund. If you compete, you may win some money. You may win a large prize. Everybody in our competition wins. Everybody.
Wow, people, I want you to hear what's happening. This is the first golden rule business development for young kids that I've ever had on our program. And I believe we have a model here, a model to bring kids out of the inner cities, out of environments that aren't good, and help turn their mind into a business mind. So Alan, I really applaud you for that.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And you do some other things with energy. And please, this is not a religious show. It's not a religious network, but this is a kingdom show. We're going to teach people how to follow the kingdom of God in business and how to treat people and how to put our Lord and Savior Jesus on the top of the world. So Alan, would you explain to me about business? I mean, what you're doing with energy. It's amazing.
Well, we met an individual that has a piece of equipment, and it's a generator. And this generator creates 60 kilowatts per hour, per day, 24/7. We can go from 60 kilowatts to 50 megawatts. So what Colleen and I did, again, is we've created another platform. This platform is to bring power to every country in the world that has power and that needs power. The system that we've created with the founders of the Jewel Box is second to none. We go into a country that needs power. Say there's a small town 700 miles away from the nearest power plant. Well, a lot of people don't understand transmission lines cost $1 million per mile. So they're $700 million away from having power.
Wow.
We can put our plant right by their town in 7 months. That community can have power within 7 months. We can tack right into their grid, what's on there now. They're probably running on diesel generators. We can create 24/7 power, baseline power, to that community. And what that does is we can then take 30% of our net profits and give it back to that community. So every time they pay a power bill, 30% that we receive of the persons that we receive of their power bill, we give back 30% of our net profits back into the community. We help them, we teach them how to have a business. We create like a, if you want to say, if you may, a middle class, where they can be a taxpayer. so that country can really start to look and see how businesses run. And without paying taxes, there is no foundation. People all know that. We teach and train those individuals how to run a business, how to set up schools properly, hospitals, the whole business line where the middle class has now got a business simply because of power. And right after the power, Dr. Rivers, we're now looking at a garbage recycle that I haven't shared with you yet, and then water, and food barns. Our whole business plan is developing faster than the speed of light for us. We're having a hard time to hold it. So we're so excited. So it's phenomenal.
And this here excites me because this is the work of Jesus too. And I'm telling you, I've been an ambassador for 8 years. I've been involved in ministry for 25 years, and I've never met people with integrity like you two.
Thank you.
I would not have you on the Golden Rule Show, man, promoting you to the whole world if you weren't the real deal. And Dr. Warren, thank you so much. But you want to add to what they're doing?
I want to add something to that.
Yes.
When Jesus was on the earth, this is very important to understand. When Jesus was on the earth, he met the physical needs first,
Yes.
and the spiritual needs second. He got people healed. They're building hospitals. Doesn't mean that there can't be supernatural healing.
Yes.
People were hungry. He fed them. In other words, God met their physical needs. And you know, like in Africa, I go to Africa all the time. The power goes off half the time in Africa. This eliminates that. This means they can have power 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no blackouts, no brownouts. And the beautiful thing is they're contributing back in to the community, because you and I know this. If you give them a fish, you feed them for a day. If you teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. What they're doing is teaching them to fish.
Wow. Wow, wow. Colleen, your heart for the young people of this world is huge. How was that established in you? Where did that come from?
Oh, I come from a really big family. And so, you know, the older ones all looked after the younger ones. And I'm right in the middle. So I was actually the mediator in my family. And so I always kind of stuck up for the one who was in trouble. And that's never left me. I still think that I always bet on the underdog in sports events. Even if my team is winning, I'll start cheering for the other team. And I really think that kids these days, they need champions.
Yes.
They need mentors to
Wow.
to encourage them and to give them validity. And
Yes.
so we look for people to work with us who have that same principle.
Yeah.
And you know, all of our teachers and instructors need to have that same belief system, so that we are instilling in our kids the responsibility that comes with growth and with adulthood. So
Yes.
we really need that. We need to teach that to kids, but then we need to not beat it into them. We need to just empower them and encourage them, and then praise their correct decisions and their
Yes.
correct problem-solving skills, and encourage that part of their lives.
Man, everyone, are you hearing this? Around the world, this is so amazing. I see so many kids that find Jesus Christ, they get saved and then lost right after, because there's actually nothing for them to do after. Because, and please understand my heart when I say this, we taught them that signs and wonders and miracles are everything. It's not. Some people don't. When I was in Uganda, a gentleman said, the reason why I don't go to church is I don't need a miracle and I'm not poor. And he said, can your God do anything else? And that right there, I said, man, there's another side of the gospel that we've missed. And these two people here are bringing that missing ingredient. They're bringing a side that where in Jesus you have to be disciplined. you have to use your own mind and become a person that can create your own living and not just sit back and wait for a miracle. I don't ever want to need a miracle. I want to be walking with God so close that my life is representing what he does. And we brought them here to honor them. They are the first people as a World Peace Ambassador for the Golden Rule. They are the first people that I would say are bringing a Golden Rule business model to the world. So anyone around the world that wants to learn a model, Colleen and Alan are two people I'd recommend you find, and you find a way to work with them. I've not found many businessmen that are willing to give 30% profit back to the community. That's a Golden Rule business leader. And that's what these two are. And I brought them here today. I want to honor them. I'm the voice of the North American division to the United Nations for the Interfaith Peace Building Initiative. And this is a Golden Rule award. It's an appointment as a goodwill ambassador of the Golden Rule. These people have lived an exemplary life, not a perfect life, but what they've done, they found a way to give back and help people. So I'm very fortunate to work with the former president of Ethiopia and a man named Musi Hailu, and they appointed me as the rep to the United Nations for Interfaith Peace Building Initiative. They said, find the best people of the world and let's honor them as goodwill ambassadors of the Golden Rule. And I've been able to, by the grace of God, we have people in over 120 countries of the world that are bringing good news and living the Golden Rule. And I just wouldn't bring anyone on my TV show if they didn't fit the full bill. These are two of the best people you will ever meet, and they practice what they preach, and they live the Golden Rule. And Dr. Terry Warren, I'm so honored that you would bring these two to our network. I met them in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, with other ambassadors, and I said we have to appoint them as ambassadors of the Golden Rule. Alan Parent, we are officially appointing you as a goodwill ambassador of the Golden Rule. You are the first businessman that loves God and loves people, and I would call you a Golden Rule businessman. I've had no one else on this show that I would ever call that. But because of the integrity and what you've done, I will designate you as the first in the world, a Golden Rule businessman that puts his money where his mouth is as he loves mankind. Alan Parent, we appoint you as an official ambassador of the Golden Rule.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So much.
And Colleen, man, what an amazing lady. Colleen, we appoint you, Colleen Demars, we appoint you as a goodwill ambassador of the Golden Rule for your vision, for your heart, and for, there's a comment you made that I love. You talked about what's not being done in church. I fully agree that we have to do something more, because there's no way our Jesus should ever be number 2 in the world. He created everything. So we have to do it different. And I thank you for being an example and a model of the Golden Rule. So we officially appoint you as a goodwill ambassador of the Golden Rule. Thank you so much. Dr. Terry Warren, anything that you want to add to?
Well, I think that what they bring to the table, you know, it's one thing for a person to have a heart to do something. It's another thing for a person to have a vision to do something. But, you know, not everybody has the knowledge. Not everybody has the ability to do it. And it says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And, you know, in order to do something of the level that you do and the level that they're getting ready to do, you have to have the experience and the knowledge.
Yes,
and
yes.
I think that they bring that to the marketplace. I think that they, Colleen was an exceptional business person. Alan was one of the top people in the whole United States at taking companies that were getting ready to go under, That means they'd made many mistakes, spent millions of dollars that they shouldn't have spent in the wrong places. And he's one of the people that they sent in to correct that.
Wow.
Then he went to China and was responsible for creating a middle class for a whole country. And so, you know, it requires an expertise.
Yes.
And they bring that expertise to be able to fulfill the visions that God has given them. Because visions come from God.
Yes.
And it says, I don't give a vision without provision.
Yes.
And some people think provision just means money. Provision doesn't mean just money. Provision means the mindset,
Yes.
the capability, the qualifications, and the skills. And they have all of that. And so because of that, they're able to fulfill. Many people try to fulfill something for God and fail.
Yes.
Either because they don't have the ability to surround themselves with the right people, or they just don't know. But they have both. They have the ability and the knowledge to know, but they also have learned something very important. They've learned to surround themselves by excellent people and create associations, like an association with you and what you're doing. It's an amazing marriage that can happen. The association we have.
Yes.
You know, the bottom line, it's, you know, you can have the greatest thing in the world, but if nobody knows it's there, it doesn't mean anything. I bring that skill set.
Yes, you do.
Because I learned in the world how to do that. And so we know how to take what we have and take it to another level because of the experience that we have. Not only the love to do it, but the experience. And they have it.
Dr. Warren, thank you so much. And this is very important because us three are going to be working on something. And you will see it all over the world. But there's one thing else I want to do. We've created an actual Life of Honor pen. And I didn't tell you guys that as I met you, I was touched. I travel all over the world, meet people every day. But you two are very special. So this is our I Change Nations Life of Honor. And I know in your life that you've had struggles and challenges, but you keep coming back every time. So I'd like to officially award you with our Life of Honor. And I'm not going to pen that because sometimes people get offended when you pen their nice dresses or suits.
Oh,
and Alan, thank you so much for and please give us some words, some final words of what's on your heart.
Well, I want to thank you for giving us this very moving. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I promise you that we won't let you down. And we look forward to working with you on the Golden Rule. But the one message I do have for everybody in the world, I coach and I mentor a lot of people. And they come to me and they say, if I could only win a lotto. And I'd ask them, why? Why don't you invest in yourself? You're the lotto. You're your own lotto.
Wow.
Invest within yourself. The world's your oyster. You don't need to go buy a ticket and wish and hope. Make it happen. I thank you, Dr. Rivers, for honoring us.
Thank you so much. Colleen, I know you have words of wisdom. Please send us away with something great. And Alan, I thank you so much.
Oh, something great. I always say those words come from God. And I just think that as a global community, we need to take on challenges together in one community. I don't believe that knowledge and wisdom is only available to one nation or to one group of people or to educators or to scientists. I think that the world needs the social, the humanities. They need faith,
Yes.
and they need to bring all of those factors into the solutions that we bring forward over the next years. And so I think that your group has just a tremendous opportunity to make that happen. And I am so glad I met you.
Well, thank you so much. Man, I am so honored in this world. I get to meet some of the best people in the world. But please, don't forget this. We're going to do something great. We're going to have them back as we bring golden rule, peace and development. You heard it here first, and you will see that model working around the world. Thank you all. Love you all around the world. It's a golden rule day. Treat your neighbor as you would your own self. God bless you.